it's competing with LA for sure. It's just a completely different vibe, but this is still home. It's always gonna be home.
So what's the vibes then?
What's the vibe? What's the difference? You mean?
Mm-hmm.
I've been to some cool clubs in LA, like the Standard and some other.
I don't want to.
Because I ain't never been to no LA.
I don't want to talk down on LA, but I'll say this: as soon as I got back, I was like, people are way friendlier here.
Yeah.
Like the average person you meet, it took me like a month of adjusting to get back to like, oh,
just basic
like
cordiality.
this is like actually because the first month I came back, I've been out there for a few years.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what are you trying to get from me? Like, no, that people here are just actually genuinely nice. And it took me a minute.
Right.
And I'm not saying I don't want to do this because I love LA and there's a lot of great people out there.
Right.
I'm not trying to downplay LA, but coming back here, it's just more like you see a lot more people. Like a dude bought me a fucking cookie at the coffee shop.
Yeah, people are willing to help. Paying
I
it
don't
forward.
know this dude.
Paying
you know
it
what
forward.
I mean? Like
Right.
just type shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't happen to me a lot when I was out there. So
That's
it's the Midwestern shit. You know, it's just friendly people.
They're just trying to get, Midwest is all about like kind of helping people. I mean, that's what, even with the podcast we've been seeing, certain people are like, oh yeah, blah, blah. Like, well, we know this person. It's like, oh damn, it's a lot smaller than what you think.
Even financially, I mean, like I know, I had a cousin who had a real expensive apartment, and I mean, maybe 70 times the amount I would have paid for it in Kansas.
Yeah,
or it'd be worth in Kansas. I mean, it's just because of where it is.
Yeah,
it's all about location.
My favorite thing about to add a positive to it though.
Mm-hmm. Well, you took the words out of my mouth. That's all I'm about to ask.
Right.
Yeah, to add a positive. Weather.
Beautiful.
Yeah, all right. Weather is ambitious people chasing their dreams.
100%.
It's great because here I'll be talking to people like I work with whatever. It's like, what you do outside of work? Oh, I just kick it. Like, and that's everyone to each their own. Like if that's how you want to live your life, do that shit. Out there, you got 10 fucking side hustles. Everybody's ambitious. Everybody's chasing something. And if you're chasing something like me chasing music, it's great to be around a group of people that are just like, this is what we want. We're gonna go get this, and nothing's gonna stop me.
Us from doing it. Right.
And like when you're around that type of energy all the time, whether you're an actor, you're a rapper, you're a singer, you're an
athlete,
you got a chef business, whatever. Everybody out there is hustling and trying to make their dreams come true, and that's a great energy to be around.
That's dope.
Pushes you to grow for sure.
Yeah, I grew a lot from being out there.
I
I was
bet.
about to say, it doesn't really push you. It's forcing you, pretty
Yeah.
much. You know what I'm saying? It's like you get in and
Yeah,
get out. You're going to
semantics,
get
but
trampled
yeah.
on.
Because they talk about small fish, big pond. And I was talking to someone where I was like, no, I was like a piece of seaweed, bro. I wasn't
A
even
little bit of kelp.
I wasn't even a small fish. I was a piece of seaweed. And it humbles. Coming from here, you get an ego. You think you're good, whatever. You go out there and you're like, okay, you might be talented. Everybody here's got their brands together. It's because it's more than just talent. It's your
Right.
brand.
Yes.
It's how you talk to people. It's everything. And when I came out there, it was like a reality check of like, oh, I'm not as cool as I thought I was. But if I can
Humble
learn,
pie hits you.
Don't fuck
and
with
then
me.
and then I spent 3 years out there pretty much trying to be like, okay, well, what are the weaknesses that I have? Like what needs improvement, and how do I
Self-reflection.
how do I get up
yeah.
how do I get up to that point?
Yeah, self-reflection and being able to, realize. Yeah, they're not weaknesses. They're basically just stretches. It's like a muscle. You have strength in other areas, but you just have other areas you need to stretch. It's all about framing things. You know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah. So I get it. Well, so what was the biggest area? I mean, we talked about singing a little bit. I mean, is that what you're working on mostly?
I'm working on singing. I like the idea of being not just a rapper, but making like songs. Like all my favorite artists make songs. Kanye makes songs. Drake makes songs.
Not just 2 verses and a hook and that's it.
It's not just like trying to be. When I started rapping, it was more like on some like I'm trying to prove something. I just want to make songs that people can feel and connect to now.
Right.
For me, it was that. It was also just ego, a lot of ego shedding, and and trying to like have enough humility to actually grow as an artist.
I think that came with your LA though. Like I said, like you just sat there and said, you're like I went out there. You're like, man, I'm the cream of the crop, and it's like you're.
I suck.
You're a seed.
Yeah.
You're a seed that hasn't even been planted yet,
Yeah.
dude. You know what I'm saying?
and you can take two approaches. Like
Wow.
some people look at that and they're like, all right, well, fuck y'all. Like whatever, fuck everybody. I'm not even gonna participate.
Right.
But I tried to, and that was my initial reaction. but after a while, it's like, all right, well, I could either do that and just be bitter, or I could grow with it
And move forward.
Yeah. And besides that, all right, it was like I was like, all right, I went out there. I was like, let me work on the image. Like, how do I make myself look authentically like how I should look
First impressions are
to be marketable.
important.
Like no one's thinking about that shit here. I wasn't thinking about that. And I think you got to figure out a way to look you got to look authentically to who you are and how you grew up, but also in a way that you can like you're turning yourself into a fucking product at the end of the day.
100%.
Which is something that's very weird to do because
you're not a commodity.
We're
We're
humans.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I'm not a watch. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, we're selling ourselves, which is that was a concept that was really hard for me to grasp.
Right.
And now I get it. It's like, okay, well, if I can, sometimes you can just sell a part of yourself. Like it's like you're marketing just this part, and then, but I'm a full human. I have more to me than just that.
100%.
But then over time, I can start peeling the layers back, and being like, no, there's more to me. But if you just do everything at once, it's gonna get confusing to people.
True.
You kind of got to be like I said earlier. All right, Jack Harlow, he's a smooth dude, right? But as his career expands, maybe you'll see there's more layers to it.
Right.
I'm Kanye. I'm the socially conscious dude, but we've seen over the years, it's he's a little crazy too. Oh, he's this or he's that. Or Kendrick. I'm from Compton, but I'm like socially conscious. But then we get over the years, like we see more layers just get peeled back and peeled back.
Yeah, when you poke the bear,
Then
it come
Right.
out. You know, he's like, I'm tired of just sitting down and just being this guy that takes a vacation all the time. Now I'm pissed off at you. You know, and like that's, I think it's the evolution of being an artist. You know, because like to circle it back with you know you dropping Hatem, you know that's pretty much kind of like your debut to an extent. You know, like you're really showing people like, hey man, I'm really out here doing what I'm doing. This is Hatem.
Yeah.
You know, and even like you just sat there and said with the video, you set the bar. You set the bar for everything that comes next.
Set your own standard. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, and you did that just as well as any artists have done. Like with Kendrick. Kendrick still gets compared to Good Kid, Mad City with whatever he drops.
Yeah.
You know, and Drake damn near the same thing. It's like, are you gonna really take over? You know, Thank Me Later. I don't know if that can really anything can top it.
I like Nothing Was the Same. That's mine.
That's when Drake fell off. But but I agree with you. I like Nothing Was the Same too. But that's when he.
I think that's better than Take Care.
Well, I said Thank Me Later, but Thank Me Later is his debut.
Then you said you said Thank Me Later, not Take Care.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Take Care. Take Care is dope as hell, but like it was written by Weeknd. But that's either there or there. But
Either there or there. I like that.
yeah, you have your debut coming. You know what I'm saying with like Hatem, and you have so much more to give to the world. And I mean, from what I've heard from the album, it's crazy.
So you've like 93 more of those?
Yeah, for sure.
I got a lot of songs, bro. Yeah, so that was 7 tracks.
Yeah, 93
I got a
more.
lot. I got a lot in the vault. And man, to me, all right, when I've been rapping for so long. When you start rapping, for me, I've been through so many phases of like what it means to be a rapper.
Right.
At first, it was like, this is fun. Like if you listen to my songs from when I'm 7 or 9 years old, like literally, I'm like fun in the sun, hot dog buns, swimming, hiking, jumping, taking it. Like that's what,
Cool for a
that's
plunge,
what,
right?
That's what we're rapping about.
Mhm.
Then it turns into, okay, mental shit. Like, let me talk about personal things. Then it tucks into this. Then there was a point where I had managers and I was trying to fit industry shit. And I became someone that I wasn't. Like, I was talking about, like, gangster shit that's not me. I'm not doing that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So there was a moment where I was like talking about just bullshit, just trying
Right.
to fit the image of what a rapper is, right? And now that I understand like who I am, it's easier to peel the layers back and be like, okay, rap to me or any art form should be, it shouldn't be you fitting into the mold of this is what a pop singer is, this is what a rapper is, this is what they talk about. It should be who are you out, like music removed, who are you outside of that, and then how do I use this as an extension of myself to express myself, and it's been a slow process of like, all right, who am I in the world, who is Danny in the world, and then how do I use this to just further express myself, and right now I feel like I have a pretty decent understanding of that.
I would
and,
agree.
And that's what you're gonna get when you hear the project.
But okay.
So you're gaining your self awareness, so you'll be able to just continue to keep on amplifying
Yeah.
the greatness of the creativity that you have been able to harness that we've obviously heard.
Yeah, 100%.
Is that what you're saying?
And as a human, as
Mhm.
you know, we're gonna keep learning and growing and realizing
Hopefully,
we were
yeah.
full of shit,
Right.
and then realizing that
Yeah.
there's more that we need to learn. And to me, like the greatest artists are always just trying to grow as people outside of music, and that's why the music keeps getting better and better. Or sometimes to people it gets worse, but to them, like I think about like Eminem dropping Recovery. Like a lot of people were like, "What the fuck is this? I don't like this." But to
Yeah.
him, this is progression for him
Right.
as a human.
That is true.
So
Yeah.
whether you like the music or not, it's like to me that's what art is. It should be. It's like therapy. It's like how do I become the best and the highest version of myself?
The art of storytelling. You know, and like if you could really paint a picture, like that's why I said a few episodes back on the pod. I was like, dude, Good Kid, Mad City. You know, like Kendrick, never been to Compton, never been to LA, never been to Cali, really. But the thing is, I literally sit there and listen to that entire album from front to back, and I'm like, I've been there.
You feel like
You feel like you've been there. It's
Right.
Like, you know,
He tells
like,
that great story.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's a short film that he says it is, but like the thing is he's painting the picture for you, you know, to understand what the hell is really going on in his everyday life. And that's the same thing that like you speak on with some of your music too, man, is like you're putting your life into this stuff and you're making it into I'm not gonna say a picture, but like you're literally painting pictures, yeah, of like what your life was and where it was at one point in time. Like, you know, sit back and keep your eyes closed. Like you could kind of hear, like I sent that to a homie of mine. I was like, yo, you would really like this dude's music. I know you would. And he's kind of a hard critic like I am. And he messaged me and he's like, yeah, dude, this shit's dope. Like I fuck with this. And first I sent him Hatem. Then I sent him sit back and keep your eyes closed. And he was like, I definitely didn't see that direction going in that the way that song was. I go, yeah. I was like, he's he's different, you know, like you be sitting there listening to this shit and then it's like, you know, it's different, bro. So like a lot of people have been fucking with your music that I've been sending it to, you know what I'm saying?
That's cool. I like hearing that. That's what's up.
Well, yeah, and like I said, when I heard you and whatnot, like I deep dived. I was like, yo, and I know I messaged you. I was like, send me all your links, and you're like, yeah, here you go, Apple Music. I was like, YouTube, and you're like, I'm not hip to YouTube music.
I was like YouTube music, yeah, but I found it.
You did, yeah, for
I found
sure.
it.
But that's what I'm saying. Like I
Yeah.
was vibing to all that shit, and so I was like, bro, I'm gonna send it to these people, man. Like, cause I bet you, you know, cause you can hear certain music and be like, all right, this person might vibe with it, but not everybody's gonna vibe to it. You know, not everybody's your cup of tea.
Yeah,
But
I think of my music as like human music. You could be a soccer mom, or you could be in the streets, and
So it's
there's-
conscious rap.
there's gonna. I wouldn't even call
nah, I
it
wouldn't
that.
be conscious rap.
It's
you know?
conscious sometimes, and sometimes it's ignorant. I call it ignorant conscious rap. Because,
Got it,
bro,
okay.
because
I
there's
get it.
sometimes that I just want to fucking make some money and just, you know what I mean? There's some, I might be at the strip club,
Right.
or I might be at church, bro, because I'm a fucking human,
Right.
bro, and that's
Facts,
what,
you're right,
and that's
yeah.
what we all are. So it's like, if I can just make music that goes across the full range of like humanity, because I've worked 5 million jobs in my life.
Facts.
From
We all
washing
have.
dishes to being an Uber driver to being a bartender to detailing
All
any
sorts of
job
stuff.
you can FedEx, bro. You know what I mean? I've done a million things.
At 26,
I understand.
wow. It's a lot.
I understand
Well, yeah.
that like we're. This is sound corny on some spiritual shit. We're all the fuck. Everybody is so similar. Like humans are so fucking similar. No matter what is going on in your life, like at the core, humans are so similar.
Facts,
and I
yeah.
know how to tap into that energy just because I've talked to so many people, and I like getting in deep conversations with people from different environments. Like I fucking hate Donald Trump. I think he's a fucking idiot. I talk to Trump supporters. I talk to because you know what I mean. That's how we're gonna grow as a species, man.
Right.
If we can talk to people with differences and whatever, and I can show, oh, we're actually a lot of people just want the best for whatever they believe is the best, right?
Right.
And a lot of times, if we could just have these conversations, that's how we're gonna grow, right? So, I think me understanding that is why my music will be able to relate to people from whatever demographic you're in, no matter what, someone's gonna pull something from it.
Yeah, and I think you hit it right on the head too, man. Like with I think that's one thing that humans are missing though. You know what I'm saying? And you said you make human music and stuff like that, which I love that. That's just dope as hell. But humans miss this all the time. Conversation.
Yeah.
They really
Especially
just
with
miss
social.
it.
Especially with socials.
Just social, yeah, but like social media killed the pop star. Like they just killed that shit. But the thing is like people do not want to have conversations anymore. Like they don't. They're like, oh man, I'm good on what I think, and it's like, okay, what do you think? You don't need to know.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, then now we're at a crossroads where now we're stuck. But at the time, it's like if you would just sit down and like actually have a conversation with somebody, you would see their views. Like you just sat there and said, you talk to Trump supporters, you talk to all types of different type of people.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, they just want the best for each other.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
And what their views and where their mindset is, they think it is.
Yeah. And
You can't tell them
a
otherwise.
lot of the times, what I've realized is a lot of people, their main intention, their goal is for the greater good of everybody. But we just have different ways of approaching that shit.
Facts.
And that's
Right.
where the clash happens.
Right.
But as an artist, for me, like it's just full self-expression. Like how do I express myself? And when I'm expressing myself and I understand all these things, there's gonna be people that feel it. No matter if you're out in Leawood, Kansas, and you know what I mean. You've never been around anything serious in your life, or if you're whatever, you're like a fucking in the hood, you're doing whatever.
So
like,
anybody can rock with you.
Yeah, I'm not just trying to appeal to everybody. I feel like it's just human music.
Yeah, and you can relate to it. Regardless, you're going to feel this somewhat,
Yeah.
shape or form.
Mm-hmm.
That's dope. That's dope, man.
Real cool.
So, I got to ask you this, man. I have to hit you with this. How many times have you been compared to Russ?
Never.
Never?
No, I'm playing. Every single day, every single day I get compared to Russ, and if you listen to my older music, I've talked about this shit in my music. I used to hate Russ. I used to be like, fuck this dude, because why does this dude gotta look like me? You know what I mean? But I've watched interviews. I've done the education. I've grown. Russ is dope. I like Russ. I think as far, and I'm low key like I produce and mix and master all the shit too. I do the same thing.
Same thing.
And
Yeah.
I'm trying to do it independently. So I'm basically, fuck it, call me Russ clone, whatever. But at the end of the day, I'm a different dude. Like I don't think I'm anything like him. I don't think my music sounds like him. I'm a unique person. For a second, I thought about cutting my hair. When I had shorter hair, people told me I looked like other people. So at the end of the day, you can't please everybody. You just gotta be. This is what feels authentic to me. Me having long hair.
You gotta be you.
I've had long hair before I knew who Russ was. You know.
Of course, right.
So we do look alike, and shout out God. You know, I don't know. That might be my brother from another mother. That might be a long distant relative or something.
I mean, if you ever met him before, they'd be like, what the hell? This is
On
the same
the Italian
shit.
side, I know people who have met him and have been in his music videos, and she was like, he's like a nicer version of you. I was like, damn. I was like, that's kind of fucked up.
Damn.
But I was like, but anyway, shout out Russ. Russ is dope. I'm Not Russ though. So kill all the comparisons.
I get that.
Dead on.
That's actually where I came up with the name for What They Want. For that song that he had. What they want, what they want, what they want. And I was like, all right, I think I'm gonna make that into a podcast. Like that shit's hard.
Yeah. So as far as like we can, Russ is, we're both Italian. I'm Middle Eastern. He's not Middle Eastern. I think I rap more than Russ. I think he's more melodic. I still got melodic shit too.
True.
But I think our vocal tones are pretty different. I think there's differences, and as you hear more of my music, as you hear more of his music, you'll see the differences. But as far as Brandon, I'm not gonna change how I look. This is me, bro.
That's you. So real quick, I want to ask you this, man. You got your album dropping soon, but who do you want to work with?
Oh, that's a hard. See, we're talking about Kanye. I was like, Kanye's a big influence. I don't really want to work with him right now, to be honest. I feel like that would be a hectic ass studio session.
Facts.
I love Kendrick. I would love to work with Kendrick. I would love to work with Cole. I would love to work with Drake. I would love to work with the dudes I was saying, Smino, Jordan Ward.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to work with people. On my album, I got this dude on my album on the song called Miss You Tomorrow. His name's Noah Flourish. I met him out.
He was
in LA.
tight.
I met him on the Miss You Tomorrow. Yeah. So I met him out in LA. He's a folk artist. His music sounds nothing like how he sounds on my song. He's like, he makes folk music so different. I heard his music and first of all, I met him too. He's a cool ass dude. And I was like, oh yeah, this dude's like fucking, he's different. Like, I like this shit. And I told him one time, I was like, bro, would you just get in the studio with me for a second and like, we'll just see what happens. And like, I started playing the keys, and then like 10 seconds in, he just says, I hate it when I know. And I was like, at that point, I was like, all right, this.
And then it's over.
It was
Get in the
over.
booth.
And it's things like that. I love the unexpected things that don't feel right at first, but then when it happens, it's like, oh yeah, like this is
right.
Fucking dope. As far as I'm trying to tap in with all the KC artists that I like, and I've been slowly doing that.
So who's that?
KC artists I like, Shay Lyric, obviously Parker, P and Beta, the dude I was telling you about earlier, Richard Fisher, dope ass R&B singer, TC, he's on the album too, No Limit TC. I want to do a song with Kai Colors. I want to do a song with Ashawn. They're both fucking dope. Zeph France, that dude's fucking dope. He's got the song called My Mind that I love. Luke Hang, we had a song, but I never dropped it. I didn't really like that song after I heard it a bunch, but Luke Hang's dope, man. There's so many dope artists here.
Yeah.
I want to tap in with that.
So let me ask you this.
Oh, wait, one more.
Yeah.
Burris, that's my guy.
Okay, so then let me ask you this. We're gonna ask this question at the end, but since you're already talking about it now,
Yeah.
Who would you like to see us interview next? And the caveat is, can you help us get them?
On this interview next?
Yes, sir. Because you just named all these people from Kansas City that you want to work with.
I would love to see, out of everyone I just named, put Shay Lyric on here. Shay Lyric.
Okay, we gotta do a different one because we literally just had Asia Sion in, and she said the same thing. She goes, I'm getting you Shay Lyric.
I got more names too. Broderick's dope. Bro, I could sit here and name dope KC artists forever. But
right.
If
you had to throw another
bro, get Richard Fisher in here. J Todd, that's another name I want to say. Get Richard Fisher in here. Richard Fisher. He's R&B artist.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, we need some singers. That's good.
Cold.
All right.
Cold as fuck.
Yeah. We'll deal with that after the show.
Yeah.
After the show. We'll link that up.
There you go.
Yeah, so
go ahead.
What do you think your Mount Rushmore is of, like, your artists that you are most, because you talked about the Kanyes and all that, but who do you enjoy listening to the most?
Mount Rushmore, so you gotta do 4.
No specific order.
I think we pretty much talked about it from as far as like
you did Ye,
from
you did
influences
Weezy.
to all that.
Yeah, Ye and Wayne are definitely up there. and it's like I don't want to put as much as I like Smino and them. I don't want to put them there because they're just newer artists. I don't feel like they've been like solidified enough. Man, it could go anywhere from like Andre to like M to like J to.
I'm glad you said Andre.
Who crafted you to be you?
I hate these questions because I've answered these questions in so many ways before.
Hey.
But you know,
You're an artist. It changes with the time and the mood.
Right now, shit, fuck it. I'll put Smino on there. I really like Smino. That's a big inspiration right now.
Okay.
And I'll put
Danny Hatem.
Put myself on there. I could put myself on there. I'll put Cole. I like Cole.
So now that we really understand the musicology behind you, you know, like
music,
your musicology. Where can we find you?
Danny Hatem on everything, on SoundCloud, on Spotify, on Apple Music, on
just Danny Hatem on
title
everything.
Danny DANNYHATEM.
Yeah,
on everything,
right there
YouTube, everything, man. Check it out.
All right, that sounds good, man. We appreciate you coming through.
Appreciate you.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, bro.
Yes,
appreciate
sir. You.
All right, I'm Danny Slab.
I'm Snow.
Danny Hatem.
Till next time, y'all.
Out.
I'ma give them what they want. She gon' give me what I want. I'ma give them what they want.